So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my September 2020 bullet journal setup. So the theme for this month, I decided to go with leaves and gold. So as you can see, I'm just going over what I've currently got in pencil with a gold metallic marker. I like to have a vague idea of what I'm doing, so I like to lightly sketch my plan in pencil first and then go over it in pen or marker or whatever. So as you can see, I'm just filling out the title with the gold marker. The marker I'm using, I'm not sure where it's what the name of it is. I got it when I was in Madrid and I really enjoy it. Fortunately, I don't know the name of it, so I'm sorry about that. So I've outlined the box in a black marker, and then I'm going in with this watercolor pen. I'm just filling in the leaves. Originally, I wanted to kind of go with a more pastel kind of green color, but the pen I wanted to use was kind of leaking through the back of the page, and so it was making it difficult to see what was on either side. I'm just roughly filling out the leaves with the pen, keeping it very simple. So now that I filled out the leaves, I decided to go in with my gold marker. I kind of wanted to have some like accent pops of gold. I was just checking on the other side to make sure that it hadn't leaked through or it was too difficult to see on the other side. So I'm just doing some random leaves to go over. I would recommend doing it without having any pen underneath because it kind of made it difficult to draw over. As you can see, I was struggling to get the pen to draw over the green, but yeah, so that's just a quick tip. So now that I've filled out the gold, I decided to draw some, what are these things called? That's a good question. The veins of the leaf? Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so I just decided to add some more gold into the main page. So using another watercolor marker in a slightly darker green, I use that to draw the stems. However, I recommend not using the watercolor because I found it was quite difficult to get neat and straight lines that were equal thickness. So I would definitely recommend using a marker instead. So moving on to the next page, and here I decided to do a calendar of the month. As you can see, I was struggling with the pen, so I had to change to a new fine liner, black fine liner. So the layout of this is quite simple. Each box is a 6x6, which is enough space to write the events for the month. I realised I had made a mistake and drew a box for the Monday, which isn't in September, but it's okay, we'll live. So writing the days on the top in capital letters, and then using the gold marker to create little bubbles just to add some extra gold. And the numbers of the month will go inside these gold bubbles. So initially I went in with a black ballpoint pen to write the numbers, but it wasn't showing very clearly in the bubble. So then I decided to go in with marker. Just a pre-warning, I realised that this wasn't even a great method either, so in the end I had to just go over in ballpoint pen. So moving on, using this pastel green highlighter, I decided to fill in the headers just to add some green to the theme, and then continuing with the same leaves with the same green pen. And I'm gonna do a similar thing that I did on the front page. The markers that I'm using right now, the watercolour ones, I got from Amazon, and I really enjoy using them because you can get a nice wash of colour. So now I'm drawing the stems of the leaves, and instead of using that green marker that was used on the front page, I went in with the gold. And then to add some extra interest, I used some scrap pieces of paper and just variations of different papers and washi tapes. I added some extra elements to the page, and then I'm using a glue stick. I'm just going to stick those down. So now moving on to the next page, which is the habit tracker, and I decided to do a slightly different layout than what I usually do. Usually I'd do one big table and then just write out the different habits and just cross them out in the little checkboxes, but I wanted to do something a bit different for this one. So what I decided to do was for each habit to create a separate little calendar and fill it out that way. So as you can see, it is quite time consuming. So if that's something that you're not interested in, I would just recommend using that table method. But I decided to try something different, and I'm not gonna lie, writing out all these numbers in such tiny font actually really hurt my hand. So the clip cut out because my camera battery died, but I just finished off the rest of the numbers and used that same highlighter to fill in the heading. And now I'm writing the different habits with a black fine liner. And then using some washi tape, a green colour glittery one, to create little tape effects to the calendars. So then moving on to the next page, I decided to do my workout tracker. So I'm just writing out the heading first. The pen I'm using is the Tombow pens, and I really enjoy these and highly recommend them. I got mine off Amazon, I think for about £5 for a pack of 2, and they do last a while, so I would recommend these pens, especially if you're trying to do calligraphy and you want to control the pressure of the brush stroke. So anyway, I'm creating like a little calendar, and I'm filling out those with the numbers of the month. So it was at this point I realised I'd made a mistake and drew extra boxes for the month. And now I've just created a little key for the different types of workouts I do. Obviously you can add more if you want, just kept it quite simple, and then added some gold washi tape at the bottom just to add a little accent. So for the next page, I decided to do a mood tracker. I don't usually do a mood tracker, but I just wanted to see how well I use it for this month and see if it's something I would want to continue with. So the layout for this is to draw 30 different leaves, and each leaf will represent each day, and then I will fill in those leaves depending on my mood, how I'm feeling from that day, and then it will give me something to reflect back on. Then I'm just going to fill out the numbers of those leaves. and then add another pop of green. So moving on to the sleep tracker, I decided to do a simple line graph. This is probably my favourite way of doing a sleep log because you can see visually how consistent your sleep is. So if your lines are up and down, like you can see that you're not getting consistent amount of sleep, and the goal is to have like a nice straight line. So I would recommend doing that layout for a sleep log if that's something you want to do. What if I tell you all the things I've done? And another pop of green. Moving on to the weekly planner. So the layout for this is my favourite method. I think it's a 16 by 11, don't quote me on that. But there's a little section on top for the events, and then the larger section is where I write my tasks and to-do lists. So writing out the dates for the week and the day with the Tombow pen. So here I've decided to add some green scrapbook paper and washi tape, just some different styles and patterns, just to play around with the layout and the design of the page. You can go crazy with this if you want to, but I just kept it quite simple. And lastly, I just decided to draw some leaves in my gold marker. And that's it. So here I'll give a quick run through. So we have the front page, followed by the monthly planner. Then moving on to the habit tracker and the workout tracker. And then the mood tracker with the sleep log next to it. And lastly, the weekly planner. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, let me know and I will continue to do it for the rest of the months.